Well, hello everyone. It's Dwayne, and no, I guess not in the bee yard, but in the garage, spinning honey out by myself tonight. This is a very cool sign that my wife had given me for my birthday, Father's Day, can't remember already. Very cool, cut out of steel. But I thought I'd get back to you and follow up on that last video. Had a lot of questions. Here's the Harmony Uncapper. Not really sold on it. I always go back to this Ginsu knife. And as my hands can attest, it's sharp. I've got band-aids all over both hands. So we bring the supers in, we pop them, put them on the table. This fancy uncapping tank is new this year. Everything fits perfectly. There's a spike right here to put your frame on. There's a grid in the bottom to allow your honey to flow through. All your frames stack up. I don't know how many it holds. That's 12, so maybe about 30, I think, in total if you took everything apart. There's the bucket it's draining into. That's the second one, so it'll be 2 full buckets just from honey out of cappings. This is our Daydent 12 frame, mediums or deeps. Probably my favorite piece of equipment. Yes, it's expensive, but they are so well made, so simple, on off. We never go past 5, like halfway up. It'll spin frames, it'll spin plastic foundation right out of the frames, and it's just not needed. Here it is spinning. I'm sure everybody's seen honey spinning out, it's not all that exciting. These frames are just about done. I noticed other people saying that they had crystallized honey in frames, and we've run into that in a bunch of these last boxes here, so it's not quite balanced because all the frames are empty except for the 4 or 5 that have some heavy crystallized sugar in them. We're going to try and feed that back to the bees and see what happens. Somebody else asked about the clarifier, and this is a Maxant unit. It's a 16 gallon, I believe. It basically has a heater element here. It sits in a water jacket that sits all the way around and underneath the honey. You can put it to whatever you want. So if you want 90 degrees or whatever you're looking for, you can run it hotter as long as the honey is flowing. I'm running it cooler and trying to let the honey sit in the clarifier longer so that it can do its job. Basically, raise the viscosity or lower the viscosity, I guess, depending on how you're looking at it, but warming the honey up to allow the lighter waxes and wings and bee parts all to float to the surface. I use a simple colander to scoop that all up. And here's the wall, the gate. I set it right down to the bottom. I'm still learning, so maybe that's not right. And here is the finished product. You've got honey that, you know, it looks dark, but when that gets into bottles, it's super white. And there's the baffle there, and then there's that 3-inch standpipe. So the heavies fall to the bottom and the lights go to the top, and it's pretty darn clean by the time it gets to that point. Don't ask me how I get all of it out at the end of the season. I'm still working on that. Maybe somebody else knows better. Here's the exciting stuff. So there's the Maxant. There's a sight glass there to see how much water is in the jacket. I built this all from stuff from paintball. Some of you guys know that I owned a paintball field at one time. And all these sanitary clamps and fittings we had purchased from a paintball place at one point. So they really, really work great. And I can take the entire thing apart and clean it and then leave it out for the bees. So I don't think much, if anything, will go to waste. So this line here goes down into the pump. This is a Man Lake honey pump. Used it yesterday for the first time, and I love it. I just have these short runs of hoses, but you can put any run you have. We're pretty small. We don't have thousands of gallons at a time. It's maybe 100 gallons at a time, or less. Obviously, it's going to be less than that this year for me. But I really, really like it. Again, we have all these sanitary fittings everywhere. So it's going to come down into the pump here, turn the pump on, pump pushes it out, and then out into our 5-gallon pails. And I've got this little horn on here, adds some weight. So I'll turn it on. And there it is. Pumps it right out. Now because the reservoir is almost empty, there's not much in there. Sorry about this crappy camera work. And I don't like to get any air in my honey, so we'll just shut this off. And that's it. It'll settle back down. I've got it pretty redneck wired right now because I wasn't exactly sure how to do it. If you hook it up one way, it goes forwards. If you hook it up the other way, it goes backwards. So it's hooked up properly now. So when I'm done for this year, I'll solder it up and tuck it all in there, make it look pretty. I keep my extractor on a simple, good heavy skid, and I bolt it down so I can put it wherever I want. And this is our old garage at the farm. When we move to the new place, it's going to be so nice just to pick it up, put it on my truck, take it to the new place, and then I can move it around with a pallet jack. I fill these 6-gallon pails with water to put a few hundred pounds of weight, and that makes it even better for not moving around or walking, as some people have problems with that. So there's the Daydent spinner, extractor. And like I said, that's about as fast as I ever go. I don't think you need to do anything other than that. And there's the other side of the uncapping tank. I think this was strictly from Dancing Bee, and shout out to Dancing Bee. They've been so good to me, and I assume lots of other people, but we've had such good luck with them and very helpful whenever you run into a bit of a problem. So anyways, that's about it. We did all these the other day. Those ones are all done. I've got these ones to do tonight by myself. There are likely, I don't know, maybe 20 more out in the field that I haven't even got to yet. But hopefully put them, what are we gonna do? We're gonna put, not sure if we're gonna use the skateboards or if I'm gonna drive them down with the fume boards. I'm gonna do one or the other. Haven't decided. Haven't found anything that I really like better than anything else. So hopefully that helps out a couple people. Some people are, I think, trying to make decisions on what kind of equipment they're gonna buy, but this was expensive, but it's lovely gear. And I'm sure when I go to sell it next year or in 20 years, it'll still have a good value because it's such good gear. I forgot to show you my crop from yesterday. 5 pails, 5 and change. And then that will be full tonight. And then the cappings one will almost certainly be full tonight or tomorrow as well. Anyways, I'm blibbering, going on too much. This is my favorite time of year. Kind of makes you feel like you actually did something. I guess maybe springtime's my favorite time of year with live bees. Live bees are pretty cool in the spring. Anyways, if you have any comments, suggestions, or if I'm doing anything wrong, leave a comment. Let me know. Thanks for watching.